Welcome to the run of the race. Brittany Taylor and Mark Warwood with you to review everything that happened on a massive Kingston Town Classic Day. Third and final day of the Masters. I'm a little bit sad that it's all over, but it's been a wonderful 3-week carnival.
Certainly has. I love the Winterbottom Stakes. That's my favourite of the 3 races, mainly because of the Eastern States representation. And boy, hey Doc, what a story. Group 1 winner prior to coming over here. 2 Group 1s, 1 at 3, 1 at 4, now 1 at 6, and he's definitely back to his best. Yeah,
certainly one of the highlights of the carnival. My highlight has to be KC, which we'll look at a little bit later in this program. But I never think I've been as happy as I was for a jockey to be riding up to interview Stephen Parnham, because I think he really, really deserved that victory. 2 weeks prior in the Guineas to go so close, and War Saint have just edged him out to be able to then 2 weeks later win the Group 1. I thought was very, very special. So certainly a highlight for me.
I sent Neville a text on Sunday saying, you cost me a few grand in rebates, but I don't mind, because good people want a good race, and his family is full of good people.
That is very well said. They certainly are, the Parnham family, and there was no one begrudging their success on Saturday. Let's look at the beginning of the meeting, and we start with a lot of debutantes in this race, and it was a well-related debutant who took this one out. It's Mindari.
Around the outside of it, more Schnitzel on the improve, being followed further back on the inside by Chick Flicks, and the last couple, Miss Ivy League, who's back there with Wins a Lot. Mindari led them coming up to the 400. Nearing the home corner, Mindari 3/4 of a length in front. Running second on the outside, American Choice. Tarawa, the baldy face galloper down on the inside. Choice Bid starts its move down the outside. Starfield Impact, and also there more Schnitzel, but American Choice races up to Mindari at the 150. Mindari fighting though. It's Mindari on the inside. Got the measure of American Choice, Starfield Impact, and Mindari. Mindari, the sister to
A nice debut by Mindari, but when we look at the numbers, it was pretty slowly run.
Terrible race from a numbers perspective. Look, Mindari trialled terribly for mine. I spoke to Paul Jordan after the race. He said the horse wasn't quite right for the trial. I wished I'd known that. He probably would have just backed it on spec, given the pedigree. Claire Castle just throws winners for fun. Forgiving Starfield Impact because of the tempo. It was bumped at the 900, came back with some abrasions to the hocks as well. Fastest sectionals home, and just completely different race to what Starfield Impact's been running in. Forgetting more Schnitzel, slowest sectionals after settling 5th in midfield. And look, a toe can pick out of this race. I don't really want to follow anything, but Starfield Impact can make very much legitimate excuses for her loss, and she's certainly better than what she showed.
Yeah, it certainly looked that way, except you wouldn't have wanted to be on at the $1.70 with watching those excuses unfold. All right, let's take a look at the second race. This one, well, this got everyone talking. This'll test you. Take a look at this.
Down and just whispering along here to the favourite, the 550, wanting to come back underneath him, a length on Drift Star, a length and a half away City Circle, Rosebush urged along prior to the home corner. Pass a Hero behind those on the inside of Zenays, and back behind them then Vital Power, Orange Strudel coming around last of all. This'll test you. Pike sitting there as quiet as a church mouse at the 200 mark, just gives it a little more rain. It quickly put 5 lengths between it and City Circle, then Zenays down the outside. But as they come inside the 50, this is as easy as you'll see. This'll Test You has won in a canter by about 6 or...
Well, there have been some massive statements made about this mare, and there is no surprise why when she put up a performance like that. But interestingly, when we have a look at the figures, it wasn't early that she's gone fast, but it's that last 600 figure that is most impressive.
Plus 1.5 to the 600. I know she got there on her ear, but she wasn't going that hard, but she was sensational in the latter part of the race. Minus 8.7 for an overall rating of minus 7.2 on her first run in town. Well, I'll give the game away a little bit here. That's the performance of the day. It even beats the Group 1. She's clearly the follow horse out of this race. Fastest last 2 and 400 metres, including the fastest split from the 4 to the 2, and William Pike did not move. Forgetting Drift Star, slowest sectionals, and they really didn't go all that hard early, so I really am forgetting Drift Star now. And forgiving Coming Around, it really wasn't one to suit over an inadequate trip at the fastest last 2 and 800 metres. Now with the new trainer, new Williams actually, from Raquel Williams to Grant and Alana Williams, I think Coming Around's going to have a nice prep.
Yeah, it certainly looks like up in distance will be right in Coming Around's wheelhouse. All right, from one race where we saw the leader just absolutely dominate to the next, which was quite the opposite, and we saw Arctic Stream jump out of the ground late.
The 600, Avidus is the leader by 3/4. Lyra on the outside. Nelson's Flight just sneaking closer, coming into the home bend. On the fence, running third, Tonka Tough. Lord Help Me Run, 3 deep and 4 wide. Jet Affair, Red Publisher. Back behind those in company with Midnight Sky. Arctic Stream is last of all into the straight, and Davidus led the way. Nelson's Flight looked to be under real pressure. Here's Midnight Sky starting to let loose with its run. It takes off at the 150. Ranges up. Midnight Sky grabs the lead. Arctic Stream loomed as the danger from last. Arctic Stream comes at Midnight Sky, gets level with it, gets the head in front. It's Arctic Stream.
A brilliant performance from behind by Arctic Stream, but when we have a look at that early 600 figure, it's no surprise because they've gone very, very quick in front.
Minus 7.4 to the 600, and therefore I'm going to make Nelson's Flight the forgive here. He was really well supported in the market. He sat just off that very, very fast tempo. It quite simply wasn't his day with Avidus going so quickly in front. I'm forgetting Lord Help Me Run. He finished 7th in this race. He pulled really hard, which is quite surprising considering how fast they went. You wonder how he's going to ever settle over 1,600 metres if he can't settle in that type of race. And I'll follow Arctic Stream. Fastest sectionals, new personal best according to Punting Form by just under a length, and looking through all of his data, trying to work out what might be his best trip. Might well be 1,800 metres. So next start, 1,800 metres, Arctic Stream.
All right, well, Arctic Stream recorded an overall figure of minus 4.9, and this next race, different distance, but the exact same figure, minus 4.9, Caracapo.
Those prevailing winds going easily there. On the rails to Wide Choose Her. One short pushing up in the middle. There's no luck for Mankind. A length and a half away. Crystal Valley, Denim packed together the last trio. Star Glitter, Dutch Spy with its ears ridden off. And Settlers Creek is last. Homeward bound. They'd straightened at the 350. Caracapo shot straight past the Draconian. A length and a half to Wide Choose Her. Prevailing winds and one short, but Caracapo led them at the 150. On the inside, Wide Choose Her. It's still Caracapo holding Wide Choose Her. Prevailing wins. One short late, but Caracapo will salute again. Caracapo scored.
Caracapo posts back-to-back victories, and one of the most pleasing things to see was that he jumped out of the gates cleanly.
I can't have him as my follow horse here simply because he's a bit unreliable at the gates, but it was a very good run because he was just off what was a very fast tempo. Forgiving Mankind was wide throughout, did draw the outside gate, fastest from the 8 to the 6, but he simply did too tough. Forgetting the Draconian. Now, all 4 of his wins have been slower than benchmark to the 600. So I know a few people fancied him on Saturday, including Terry Layton, but in this type of tempo race, he really, really struggles. He can get a soft lead, he can win again, but in this class, he might not get another soft lead. Following Crystal Valley, I thought it was a really good first up run after what was a poor return back in August. Personal best is over 1,800 metres, so to run minus 1.8 over 1,200, good things to come.
The most remarkable thing about her being back at the racetrack is that she nearly lost her life in a track work accident. To see her back at the racetrack is just, I think, the best thing of all, and to think that there's more to come, very, very exciting for Crystal Valley. All right, let's take a look at the 5th race, and this one was taken out by Santa Brianna.
On the inside, next of all, from the filly Santa Brianna, who was trailed in turn there by Widespread. And back last of all is 3 E's as they come to the home corner. And he takes off with War Saint. War Saint kicks away from Massimo. On the fence, Annihilator. They've dropped off Laver Rod for the moment, but he hasn't really asked him the big question. War Saint, he is coming back to them quickly now, joined by Massimo, Laver Rod. It's Massimo at the 150, ranging up, grab the lead from War Saint, Laver Rod. Here's the filly Santa Brianna down the outside. Santa Brianna went to Massimo. It's the filly. Santa Brianna was too good to win the Lastia.
Santa Brianna takes out the Lastia Classic, and gee, we saw that champion filly's form really come to the fore.
Yeah, I thought Massimo was massive in this race. He settled second, and it was a really fast tempo, minus 6.5 to the 600. He's the forgive for mine. The tempo was even faster in his last 2 races. It was his first time over 1,400 metres, and he still managed to equal his personal best. He's a serious galloper, Massimo. He's the forgive. The forget is Widespread. I suppose we can forget this horse. He's now gone back to the Eastern States. He was last at the 600. He had the fastest 6 to the 4, but he had the slowest last 200 metres. I think Godolphin will come back with a better 3-year-old next year and target the Guineas and perhaps the Kingston Town. And the follow horse is Massimo. He's going for a spell, but I heard Andurant on Tab Radio say Belmont Guineas perhaps, and then into the Carnival. I think he'll measure up.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing how he comes back next preparation. If what he's done this time is anything to go on, a very talented horse is Massimo. All right, we'll take a quick break, and on the other side, still to come, is the review of the Kingston Town Classic.
Better your betting experience with Tab Touch. Watch Sky Racing and race replays on the go. Get free Giddy Up premium form. Access your winnings faster with past the post payouts. And keep your winnings if there's a protest. Better your betting experience with Tab Touch. You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Welcome back to the run of the race, where it is time to have a look at one of the other features on the day, the Jungle Dawn Classic. And Beautiful Mind always mapped to get a beautiful run, and that's exactly what happened, and she was able to come away with the victory.
Jewel being shaded by Lady Sass, then Bell My Pago racing over on the outside of Forgotten Star Electric Light. A good 6 lengths from the leader, Snow Chino, and they're about to let rip coming into the corner. And back last is Regal Moon. Snow Chino wanting to lay off the fence around the bend, straightened up 3/4 of a length in front like a butterfly. Yendel now pulls Beautiful Mind around the heels to set after those. Regal Moon shot right up near the rail, followed further back Forgotten Star, Like a Butterfly, Snow Chino, Beautiful Mind together. Beautiful Mind on the outside from Like a Butterfly reaches the lead, flying late, Perfect Jewel, but Beautiful Mind wins it.
Beautiful Mind mapped to get a beautiful run, and when the leader went 8 lengths slower than benchmark, it's no surprise that she was able to win this race.
And that's precisely why I'm not jumping off Electric Light. Settled last, tempo was totally unsuitable. I think it was slower than most people thought it would be. Fastest last 2, 4 and 800 metres, back to 1200 metres, or in a more suitable 1400. Electric Light will blow most of these away. Forgetting Lady Sass, they put the tongue tie on for the first time. Second slowest last 4, 6 and 800 metres from a midfield spot. That is sacked. And look, I will follow Perfect Jewel here. I think she might be the interesting runner in the next of these series. Was okay carrying 60 kilos, finished off okay as well. I think 1600 metres is probably her best trip. I'm not sure it's going to suit Electric Light, and a Beautiful Mind's not going to get it as easy next time, surely. Yeah,
you always know that those sort of runners just improve with an increase in distance, which we'll see for Perfect Jewel. All right, the next race was the Scahill Stakes, and check this out for a salute. Clint Johnson Porter winning on the Celt.
Further 2 behind them, then on the outside, Prophet Street ahead of the Celt. They're starting to roll along, coming into the corner. Arcadia Prince away from the inside now, underneath the neck of Flirtini. Then Disposition, and Stageman is going to have to win, coming from last into the home straight. At the 350, Flow led by a length and a half on Valor Road. They're 2 clear from Abdicator. Prophet Street, the Celt, Flirtini being called upon with 150 to run. Valor Road hit the front. Here comes the Celt though with a run. Look at the Celt flying. It's the Celt ranging up, grabbing Valor Road. The Celt wins it. The Celt got there from...
A big salute there from CJP. It was great to see. Recorded an overall figure of -5.4.
And CJP loves this race. He's won it 2 in the last 3 years. He outrode his claim on Silverstream, and now he gets his second Group 3 winner with the Celt. I thought this horse couldn't stay 1400 metres in a float, but did a wonderful job on Saturday. Was really strong through the line. Forgiving Flirtini. That's her worst punting form rating in this preparation. It's 3.2 lengths worse than the run in the Burgess Queen last year. So I just think she was over the top, and the ill effects of the Winterbottom Stakes run, completely forgive her. Forgetting Arcadia Prince, he won this race in 2018, but both of his last 2 runs are rated around the -0.2. His personal best was back in 2017. We're not going to see better from Arcadia Prince. And follow Valor Road. He has had no luck this campaign whatsoever, but all 3 of them have rated quite well, including on Saturday. Just needs to draw a gate.
And we know he is a good horse. All right, the next one, this is what we have been waiting for, the Kingston Town Classic. Let's take a look at KC.
Kadali, Gadding well placed, coming to the home corner by Warwick. On the fence, KC pushing up now. She's got about a head in front of Tuscan Queen, but it's about to pull out 3 deep. They're being followed by Mississippi Delta. Best of Days has come off the fence, but Galo Chop sailed for the judge. Clear by about 3 or 4. KC with a run on the inside. Galo Chop, 200 to go. Here comes KC. She's winding up on the inside. Galo Chop's the leader. KC cutting it down. Best of Days runs to 3rd. KC grabs the lead from Galo Chop. It's KC home, and another one for Stevie.
KC takes out the Group 1 Kingston Town Classic, but let's just focus right in on the numbers. How does this Kingston Town compare to previous editions?
Punting forms rated all of them back to 2012. That was won by Lockie Gray in -10.4. This one was -4.3, so 6 lengths inferior to the next worst Kingston Town Classic since 2012. That's all to do with the tempo. It's really no knock on KC, and what a good ride it was from Stephen Parnham to position that horse so forward as he did. I thought she'd be 4 or 5 back the fence. she wasn't. And it was a really, really good ride.
And it was interesting, even at the barrier draw, I think they were the murmurs that people were a little bit concerned about barrier 1, but Neville was very quick to say that, no, I think she can settle pretty prominent, and that's exactly what she was able to do.
2 or 3 weeks ago, I nominated her as the horse to follow instead of Tuscan Queen. I would have had her on top had she drawn a decent gate. I didn't think that gate 1 was a decent gate. I thought it was probably the worst possible gate for her, but Stephen Parton negated that. He got the tactics spot on and he deserved to win the race.
And he is a master tactician, knows exactly where he needs to be in the run, and that's exactly where he was. It just all opened up on the fence, and she was able to cruise to victory. Who makes your files?
Plenty of forgives in this race, but I'll settle on Akanar Star. Wrong tactics, has to be the wrong tactics, should have probably gone forward. Fastest 8 to the 6 and the 5th fastest last 200. Goes forward, I think runs a very, very different race, finishes 14th having gone to the back. Forgetting Pakadali, I thought this was a pretty easy one to forget. Settled second in this slowly run race, slowest sectionals. Lindsay Smith said before the race he thought the horse might not be up to Group 1 standard. Well, I think Pakadali proved that. Following Regal Power, fastest last 200 metres, going to take an absolute stack of beating in the Van Heemston the Perth Cup.
Oh, he just absolutely flew home, had a red light on him the whole way home. All right, from those colours to these ones, this is William Pike winning the last on Sentimental Gift.
Fancies at the 600. Then Vintage Stock about to quickly shear off their heels. On the rail, Stafford's Lad. Here comes Lenny about to wind up with Upwards Others, followed by Brothers Keeper Divide the Sea, and plays the game last of all. High Energy setting sail for home in the last. Sweeps around the home corner at the 300. 2 in front of Ombudsman. A similar margin push to pass. Pike going right up on the inside with Sentimental Gift, and he's running on strongly. High Energy is the leader. Push to pass, run to second. Pike's around their heels with Sentimental Gift though. He wants this Sentimental Gift. Races up, grabs the lead, and the last is over. Pike gets it with Sentimental Gift. Scored from...
Punters rejoice as William Pike takes out the last, and he looked like he was riding for dear life. Very hungry for this victory.
Not the greatest race, this one. Minus 0.5 was the overall rating. I don't think Sentimental Gift's going to add up to too much than a 66 plus win. Forgiving British Bessie here. Pass fit after a mishap on the way to the course, had some abrasions to her near hind, finished 5th. Forgetting Here Comes Lenny. Quite simply, the gap between his good and his bad runs is just way too big for him possibly to be anything other than a forget. And I will follow British Bessie out this race. She is a token pick out of what I thought was a bad race, but I think she's better than what she showed on Saturday.
And she was a follow last week when she gets up in distance, so we'll stick with her going forward. All right, there will be no surprise here because you mentioned it earlier, but race 2 we saw a star performer in This'll Test Ya. How do her figures come when we look at the meeting in its totality?
She's got the best overall rating, which is quite extraordinary from a graduation handicap on a Group 1 race day. Minus 7.2, and you take the class into effect, minus 5.3. And again, visually on the day, it looked like she was going really, really quick early. According to punting form, she wasn't. It's scary how good she could get.
And what about the fastest finishes of the day?
Regal Power was the fastest last 200 metres. That tells you everything you need to know about the tempo of an 1800 metre race. 11.05 for him. And then it's This'll Test Ya, 400 and 600, and he was as quiet as a church mouse, to quote Darren McCauley.
Absolutely was. Cannot wait to see what that mare does next. All right, we'll take a quick break and see what our tipsters had on the card on Saturday. Welcome back to the run of the race, where it is time to have a look how our tipsters fared on the weekend. And there are a few points up for grabs, given that we did see a couple double-figure winners. Yeah,
This'll Test Ya Amazing was the best way to play in race number 2. Now she paid $1.30 and $1.04, but you needed some big price winners. The Kelp paid $24, KC paid $10 You know, it was remarkable the difference between Her Price and Tuscan Queen. I think most people thought they were pretty much the same horse, and yet one goes around at 10 and one goes around at 3.
There was a massive disparity in the price, and I think that's why a lot of punters were happy to head the way of KC. Did our weekly winner go that way?
Yeah, Joe Stratton is the weekly winner. He had 1,644 points, approximately half of what he could have got. He had Sentimental Gift. KC had his big bet on KC. He also found the Celt. He wished he probably put his big bet on there, but he also found Beautiful Mind, Caracapo, and, well, everyone found This'll Test You.
Yeah, of course they did. Okay, what does that mean for the top 8 leaderboard?
Well, Joe is nowhere near the top of the leaderboard. He's actually 99th overall on just over 4,000 points. But we have a new leader, and that is Russell Hinks, nearly 7,000 points. He's taken over from God 64. He finished 6th on Saturday in the round, and 3rd is Mitch H97, who was runner-up to Joe on Saturday.
Well, there's not an awful lot between a few of those at the top, and they get another opportunity to either extend that lead or bridge the gap this Saturday. And even though the Masters is over, features don't stop. It's the Taunton Cup on Saturday. Let's take a look at the last 3 editions.
And to a mighty roar from the crowd, they're racing. He's got his finger on the trigger at the 400 mark. He quickly moved a length and a half. Now the sparks are flying. He makes it 2 Perth Cups. It's history at Ascot. Just getting squeezed out for a run at the 300. Kiora Kutu had hit the front down the outside. Star Exhibit though loomed as the danger to him. Star Exhibit ranged alongside of Kiora Kutu. They're having a battle royale and Kiora Kutu's got plenty to offer. He digs and he fights hard. He beats off Star Exhibit. Kiora Kutu returns to the winner. Down on the leader, Trap the Fools at the 200. It kicked 2 in front of Angola. Then Falcon Crest, who can't go with them. Further back is Dark Musket, but it's another one for Trap the Fools. Sublime front running ride by the Hong Kong star. Dougie Whitehame on Trap the Fools. Back on the inside court, flat-footed Mississippi Delta. First affair down the outside. The leader's kicked away. Capo Doro inside the 100. Now getting through late Mississippi Delta, starting to wind up. Capo Doro clinging on, though it's all the way. Capo Doro. Capo Doro beat Mississippi Delta.
There's the last 3 editions of the Taunton Cup. Looking forward to this week and Ascot's biggest Christmas party. There's plenty of festivities happening on course.
Last week we had the Tap Touch Punters Club. That was a new event to the Ascot Racing Carnival, and this week it is Ascot's biggest Christmas party. I don't know if anybody's going to be wearing one of those novelty jumpers though, given it's going to be 41 degrees.
No, definitely not. And of course we've got the later start too, which will be quite nice. A twilight evening on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, this time last year I think the Van Heemst Day was put back to similar times, so we're going to start at 2:24 and finish just before 7 o'clock.
Which will be lovely and comfortable given we do have a hot day forecast. And of course, if it is hot, you can get your ice cream too, which I have been frequenting that little ice creamery here at Perth Racing. All right, we'll catch you next week in the run of the race.
He makes her bid for a little piece of history.